give it a couple minutes. It's not quite 7:30, but want to give anybody a chance to jump on here that isn't on here already. Hold on, I'm going to turn my brightness up a little bit if I can. I don't know if I can do that right now. I don't know how to do these things. Oh well. How you guys doing this morning? Ready for a little Bible reading? Good talk. Yeah, today we're in Zechariah. And right now, this is when the readings are going to start getting split up into sections. So Zechariah, and then Ezra, Hebrews, Nehemiah, Romans, Daniel, Revelation, Mark, Proverbs, Judges, Joshua. Oh, wait. And then 1st, 2nd Corinthians, Job, and John. Those are going to be broken up into two sections. So for 1st and 2nd Corinthians, one day we'll read 1st Corinthians, the next day we'll read 2nd Corinthians. That's how I want to do it. And so for instance, we're not going to read we already did 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. Yeah. We just read those all together instead of breaking them up into three sections. Good morning, Waypoint 3. Long time no talk. Hope you're doing well. Audio coming through clean, you guys? Thumbs up in the chat if the audio's good. All right. I want to make these watchable for people who watch it after the live stream, so I think we should just go ahead and get into it. Zechariah, if you're following along in your own Bible, I'm reading out of the scriptures. So if you're in the scriptures, it's going to be on page 635. And I'll check the volume real quick. I'm going to move this. I don't know. Move it up a little bit. That should be good. Hush. Alright, talking to my dog, not you guys. You guys are fine. Not bothering me a bit. Okay. Shh. Zechariah, chapter 1. In the 8th new moon of the 2nd year of Dariawesh, the word of Yahweh came to Zechariah, son of Berechiah, son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, Yahweh was very wroth with your fathers, and you shall say to them, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, Turn back to me, declares Yahweh of hosts, and I shall turn back to you, declares Yahweh of hosts. Do not be like your fathers, to whom the former prophets proclaimed, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, Turn back now from your evil ways and your evil deeds. But they did not obey or give heed to me, declares Yahweh. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? But my words and my laws, which I command my servants the prophets, did they not overtake your fathers? Then they turned back and said, As Yahweh of hosts planned to do to us according to our ways and according to our deeds, so he has done with us. On the 24th day of the 11th new moon, which is the new moon, Shabbat, in the 2nd year of Dariawesh, the son of Yahweh, or the word of Yahweh came to Zechariah, son of Berechiah, son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, I looked at night and saw a man riding on a red horse, And he was standing among the myrtle trees in the shade, and behind him were horses, red, sorrel, and white. And I said, My master, what are these? And the messenger who was speaking to me said to me, Let me show you what they are. And the man who stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, They are the ones Yahweh has sent to go throughout the earth. And they answered, the messengers of Yahweh who stood among the myrtle trees, and said, We have gone throughout the earth, and see, all the earth is at peace and rest. And the messenger of Yahweh answered and said, O Yahweh of hosts, how long would you have no compassion on Jerusalem and on the cities of Yehudah, against which you were enraged these 70 years? And Yahweh answered the messenger who talked to me, Good words, comforting words. And the messenger who spoke with me said to me, Proclaim, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, I have been jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with great jealousy, and I am very wroth with the nations who are at ease. For when I was a little wroth, they furthered the evil. Therefore, thus said Yahweh, I shall return to Jerusalem with compassion. My house shall be built in it, declares Yahweh of hosts, and a surveyor's line be stretched out over Jerusalem. Again proclaim, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, again my cities shall overflow with goodness, and Yahweh shall again comfort Zion, and shall again choose Jerusalem. And I lifted up my eyes and looked and saw 4 horns. And I said to the messenger who was speaking to me, What are these? And he said to me, These are the horns that have scattered Yehudah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And Yahweh showed me 4 craftsmen. And I said, What are these coming to do? And he spoke, saying, These are the horns that scattered Yehudah, so that no one lifted up his head. But these come to trouble them, to throw down the horns of the nations that lifted up their horn against the land of Yehudah, to scatter it. Chapter 2. And I lifted up my eyes and looked, and saw a man with a measuring line in his hand. And I said, Where are you going? And he said to me, To measure Jerusalem, to see what its width and what its length. And see, the messenger who was speaking to me was going out, and another messenger was coming out to meet him. And he said to him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem is to remain unwalled, because of the many men and livestock in it. For I myself am to her, declares Yahweh, a wall of fire all around, and for a steam I am in her midst. Oh, and flee from the land of the north, declares Yahweh, for I have scattered you like the 4 winds of the earth, declares Yahweh. O Zion, escape, you, and dwell with the daughter of Babel. For thus said Yahweh of hosts, for the sake of esteem he sent me to the nations which plunder you. For he who touches you touches the apple of my eye. For look, I am waving my hand against them, and they shall become spoil for their servants. And you shall know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for look, I am coming, and shall dwell in your midst, declares Yahweh. And many nations shall be joined to Yahweh in that day, and they shall become my people, and I shall dwell in your midst. And you shall know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me to you. And Yahweh shall inherit Yehudah, his portion, in the set-apart land, and he shall again choose Jerusalem. Hush, all flesh, before Yahweh, for he has roused himself up of his set-apart dwelling. Chapter 3. And he showed me Yehoshua, the high priest, standing before the messenger of Yahweh, and Satan standing at his right hand to be an adversary to him. And Yahweh said to Satan, Yahweh rebuke you, Satan. Yahweh who has chosen Jerusalem rebuke you. Is this not a brand plucked from the fire? And Yehoshua was dressed in filthy garments and was standing before the messenger. And he answered and spoke to those who stood before him, saying, Remove the filthy garments from him. And to him he said, See, I have removed your guilt from you. This sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yehoshua removing our filthy garments. Interesting. See, I have removed your guilt from you. You shall put costly robes on you. And I said, Let them put a clean turban on his head. Then they put a clean turban on his head, and they put garments on him. And the messenger of Yahweh stood by, and the messenger of Yahweh witnessed to Yehoshua, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, If you walk in my ways, and if you guard my duty, then you shall also rule my house, and also guard my courts, and I shall give you access among these standing here. Now listen, Yehoshua, the high priest, you and your companions who sit before you, for they are men of symbol. For look, I am bringing forth my servant, the branch. See the stone which I have put before Yehoshua. On one stone are 7 eyes. See, I am engraving its inscription, declares Yahweh of hosts, and I shall remove the guilt of that land in one day. In that day, declares Yahweh of hosts, you shall invite one another under the vine and under the fig tree. Chapter 4. And the messenger who was speaking to me came back and woke me up as a man is awakened from sleep. And he said to me, What do you see? So I said, I have looked, and see a lampstand all of gold, and a bowl on top of it. And on the lampstand were with 7 spouts to the 7 lamps. And 2 olive trees are by it, one at the right of the bowl, and the other at its left. Then I responded and spoke to the messenger who was speaking to me, saying, What are these, my master? And the messenger who was speaking to me answered and said to me, Do you not know what these are? And I said, No, my master. And he answered and said to me, This is the word of Yahweh to Zerubbabel, not by might nor by power, but by spirit, said Yahweh of hosts. Who are you, great mountain before Zerubbabel? A plain? And he shall bring forth the capstone with shouts of favor to it. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of the... I might have got that word wrong. Anyways. The hand of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house, and his hands shall complete it. And you shall know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me to you. For who has despised the day of small beginnings? They shall rejoice when they see the plumb line in the hand of Zerubbabel. These 7 are the eyes of Yahweh, which diligently search throughout all the earth. Then I responded and said to him, What are these 2 olive trees, one at the right of the lampstand and the other at its left? And I responded a second time and said to him, What are these 2 olive branches which empty golden oil from themselves by means of the 2 gold pipes? And he answered me and said, Do you not know what these are? And I said, No, my master. And he said, These are the 2 anointed ones who stand beside the master of all the earth. Chapter 5. And I lifted up my eyes again and looked and saw a flying scroll. And he said to me, What do you see? And I answered, I see a flying scroll, 20 cubits long and 10 cubits wide. And he said to me, This is the curse that goes forth over the face of all the earth. Everyone who is stealing shall go unpunished. Everyone who is stealing shall go unpunished on the one side according to it, and everyone who has sworn falsely shall go unpunished on the other side according to it. I shall send it out, declares Yahweh of hosts, and it shall come into the house of the thief and the house of the one who shall swear falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it, both its timber and stones. And the messenger who was speaking with me came out and said to me, Lift up your eyes now, and see what this is that is going forth. And I said, What is it? And he said, It is an ephah measure that is going forth. Again he said, This is their appearance throughout the earth. And see, a lead cover lifted up, and this a woman sitting inside the ephah measure. And he said, This is wrongness. And he threw her down into the ephah measure, and threw the lead weight over its mouth. And I lifted up my eyes and looked, and saw two women coming with the wind in their wings, and they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah measure between earth and the heavens. Then I said to the messenger who was speaking to me, Where are they taking the ephah measure? And he said to me, To build a house for it in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there on its own base. And I lifted up my eyes again, and looked, and saw 4 chariots coming from between 2 mountains. And the mountains were mountains of bronze. And the first chariot were red horses, and with the first chariot were red horses, and with the second chariot black horses, and with the third chariot white horses, and with the fourth chariot strong speckled horses. So I responded and said to the messenger who was speaking to me, What are these, my master? And the master answered and said to me, These are the 4 spirits of the heavens, coming forth from presenting themselves before the master of all the earth. The one with the black horses is going out to the land of the north, and the white ones have gone out after them, and the speckled ones have gone out to the land of the south, and the strong ones went out eager to go to walk to and fro in the earth. And he said, Go, walk to and fro in the earth. So they walked to and fro in the earth. And he called to me and spoke to me, saying, See, those who go toward the land of the north have given rest to my spirit in the land of the north. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Receive the gift from the exiles, from Heldai, Tobiah, and Yediah, who have come from Babel. Then you shall go the same day and enter the house of Josiah, son of Zephaniah, and you shall take the silver and gold, make a crown, and set it on the head of Yehoshua, the son of Yehotzadak, the high priest, and shall speak to him, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, saying, See the man whose name is the branch, and from his place he shall branch out, and he shall build the Hekel of Yahweh. It is he who is going to build the Hekel of Yahweh. It is he who is going to bear the splendor, and he shall sit and rule on his throne, and shall be a high priest on his throne, and the counsel of peace shall be between them both. While the crown is for a remembrance in the Hekel of Yahweh to Helam, and to Tobiah, and to Yediah, and to Hen, son of Zephaniah. And to those who are far away shall come, and those who are far away shall come and build the Hekal of Yahweh. And you shall know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me to you, and this shall be if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. Chapter 7. And in the 4th year of sovereign Darius, it came to be that the word of Yahweh came to Zechariah on the 4th of the 9th new moon, Kislev. Now Bethel had sent Sharester with Regem-melech and his men to pray for Yahweh, speaking to the priests who belonged to the house of Yahweh of hosts, and to the prophet, saying, Should I weep in the 5th new moon, and fast as I have done for so many years? Then the word of Yahweh of hosts came to me, saying, Speak to all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, When you fasted and lamented in the 5th and 7th month, all these 70 years did you rule fast for me. And when you ate and when you drank, was it not for those eating and those drinking? Are these not the words which Yahweh proclaimed through the former prophets, when Jerusalem and the cities around it were inhabited and in safety, and the south and low country were inhabited? And the word of Yahweh came to Zechariah, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, Execute true right ruling, show loving commitment and compassion every one to his brother. Do not oppress the widow or the fatherless, the sojourner or the poor, and do not plot evil in your heart against one another. But they refused to listen, and they shrugged their shoulders and stopped their ears from hearing. And they made their hearts like flint against hearing the Torah, and the words which Yahweh of hosts had sent by his Spirit through the former prophets. Therefore great wrath came from Yahweh of hosts, and it came to be, as he called, and they did not hear, so let them call, but I shall not hear, said Yahweh of hosts. And I scattered them with a storm wind among the nations which they had not known, and the land was laid waste behind them, no one passing through or returning, for they made the pleasant land a waste. All right, and that's where we're going to pause for today. These books are getting longer and longer, and so I have them divided up. We're going to read 8 through, what is it? Yeah, chapter 8 through 14 tomorrow. And, man, it's definitely some end times prophecy here, right? I mean, you see the picture of our great high priest. His name is even Yehoshua, which is, supposed to be a foreshadow. And, yeah, a lot of really interesting stuff. Some of the stuff I think we'll get a more full picture of as we in a few days, in about a week, it looks like we'll be reading Revelation. We'll be reading Daniel and then Revelation, which is pretty cool that it kind of went in that order. We'll read Daniel and then we'll read Revelation in about a week. So for those of you that are interested in end times prophecy, which I think all of us should be, because I'm convinced that we're kind of living in those times right now. And so it's kind of the scripture that says that if you had been watching, then the thief wouldn't break in as a thief in the night. Well, just like the Pharisees they didn't realize what was going on when Yeshua was there. I think that we should be above reproach and be aware of what's coming. And so end times prophecy does have a place. I know I've gone to many churches that wouldn't touch Revelation. They wouldn't preach end times prophecy. They wouldn't touch it at all, which was really irritating because that's one of the first things that got me interested in reading scripture was, looking at what's happening. You can kind of measure some of this just based off of what it says in scripture is going to happen. A lot of it's happened in our lifetime, or some of the things are starting to happen too. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I love the feedback in the comments section. So even after this video post, if you want to leave comments, I try to respond to all the comments, and the community section is kind of my favorite part about this. I would much rather read privately or listen on audio, but the whole point of this is to kind of have community accountability and some semblance of fellowship in the comments. So I want to encourage you to meet people in there and leave your thoughts on what we're reading. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in again for another Snowball Bible reading. Tomorrow we'll finish Zechariah, and I look forward to seeing you in the chats. All right. Shalom, you guys. Bye.